your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a cut above 719-5605.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny to partly cloudy skies. Our high today in the middle to upper 60s. We'll see an increase in the cloud cover tonight. A few showers up further south. Our temperatures upper 40s north, mid 50s south. And then Friday, a chance of some scattered showers, a high in the 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
AERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Thanks to the fans. It was a great arena, great start. We're going to have a lot of games, but we need this arena hopping for this team as we figure this out. We're not there yet, but we're doing some good stuff, but we got to be better than this. And it was good, but do we want to be good or do we want to be something special?
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Light the candle.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, cowboy?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those calls.
Ready to sink your teeth into some Arkansas basketball? Arkansas wins by 16 last night against the Lipscomb Bison, 76-60. A bunch of guys starting to get on a roll a little bit. We're going to talk about plenty of them coming up. You heard Cal there talking about his basketball team. There's still a lot of things he wants to adjust against. The first game, the Cal era, from a regular season standpoint, he played Kansas, he played TCU in 2 exhibitions, but now you got a chance to see what this team looks like in an actual regular season game. They start out 1-0. Tommy, that wasn't the case initially for every SEC team this week. Even some ranked teams went down earlier.
Yeah, and, just watching that game last night, it was a little tighter than you wanted it, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah, we were talking about that before the show. There were some runs that Lipscomb made, an 11-0 run. Arkansas ended up closing out the stretch, which was encouraging to see when it mattered. But there were a couple runs that Lipscomb had during the course of the first half and the second half where you're just kind of sitting around like, all right, hopefully they don't lose opening night. Cal has a stellar record against opponents on opening night, as does Arkansas. But at the end of the day, you got a double-digit victory. And what did you do yesterday? You covered.
Oh, well, barely.
Covered.
I was watching there at the end. You got that, I guess Z got that dunk there at the end. If I remember it, I think it was him. That put you up 16, and then they had to go back and play defense for
and he blocked the final shot. So
like,
Big Z won a lot of people money.
Watching the game with some guys, like, to some, this is a really interesting last 30 seconds of this game.
It's always entertaining, and every one of my friends gamble. I'm like the lone guy that will, like, once or twice a year, like next week with Brian. Like, that's kind of what I do once or twice a year. Bet a guy something, whatever. Bet my dad the Baylor game this weekend for Arts Barbecue. But I have friends that will bet on everything. So even at the end of the game, when I'm relaxed, I'm not tense, they're like locked in to the television or locked into the radio. And I'm just like, well, and then I remember, they have to win by 14 points in order for you to win one. In this case, last night, 15 or more. But you won some money last night. Big Z made some people rich, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, we're brought to you today by Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farms. They provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics. They do everything. Great doctors there. Dr. Sparkman, Dr. Farmer, Dr. Van Nice always work hard to make it a comfortable experience every time for you and your family. Right now, mention you heard it here on the Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas. And at your next appointment, receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. It's at Valley Family Dental. Call 479-226-3500 for an appointment, 226-3500, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Just a programming note as we get going. Dusty Hannis was going to join us at 9:05 this morning. He had to change these up. He texted me late last night. I think he had something come up, so hopefully we'll get him on the next couple days and get his thoughts. I thought he'd get a good job on his first broadcast. And I think the comparison that you've made and several others on a radio station have made, I don't think this is an uncommon thought by any means, is Dusty played with two guys and Daryl Macon and Jalen Barford that could go get it basically whenever they wanted. And I like last night was more about Boogie Flan and John L. Davis than it was Boogie Flan and DJ Wagner, which was the opening game against Kansas, which they both had 20 plus. John L. shot the ball a lot better last night. Hit a three, which I know was encouraging for him. But you've got, I was texting our friend Robert Teague last night, and it's just so cool that you have three guards on your roster right now that can get 20 anytime they want. Like, if they're hot, they're going to get 20 plus, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And, like, DJ, for example, he didn't have his best game from a scoring standpoint, turned the ball over a little bit. Cal talked about that, but he was still blowing by people. And that's, I think it's going to be really fun to watch this team just get to the rim and attack continuously, especially on the fast break where they had 20-plus fast break points last night.
Yeah, and the quickness and the speed, speed's one thing. Quickness is a lot more valuable in basketball because it's such a confined space. You could see the quickness, and they could get from the defensive side of the half-court stripe to scoring in like a hiccup. I mean, there were times they could push that transition off the steal, and they forced 19 turnovers. So Arkansas ends up with 25 points off of turnovers last night. So that was really big in the game, and the speed was on display during all that.
Yes, it was. Let's get into our opening drive.
If you have no post presence, your team's a fraud. And the reason is if you think every game we're going to make threes, you're not. So you got to have other ways of scoring to win a game when you don't make shots.
I had to Boogie with a nice move to the rim and a left-handed layup from Boogie Flan. A steal, a score.
He's a veteran, we love him. He give us that post presence, and he's going to keep doing what he's doing.
You've won 850-some games, but this is your first in Bud Walton Arena that somebody's going to give you a game ball for.
There's just no way for us to simulate their size and physicality.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
Coach Acuff at the tail end, he's Lipscomb's basketball coach, just talking about what Arkansas presents as a just presence when you have to go at them both offensively and defensively on the floor. Cool moment for Arkansas' athletics department as Hunter Yurachek gave Cal the game ball after getting his first official win as the Arkansas Razorbacks head coach. And then, Tommy, for the first time, I guess in the regular season, in the first game, and for the first time really at all, we saw Jonas Adu last night. Didn't play a lot, but the Tennessee transfer at least got in, and we got a chance to see him in action.
He's a full-grown man, isn't he?
He is.
Big old number 9 in there. That's still weird to me to see the number 9 in basketball, but, man, what...
When was that changed? 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, like 2 years ago, where you could make programs wanting to retire numbers, and you can't when you couldn't have a number above 5.
Yeah.
But anyway, big guy in there. And I know you spoke yesterday of the concern of depth in the front court, but, man, I think Z's going to be fine. Obviously, when he gets healthy, you got 3 guys there that can really go with Big Z, Thiero, and Jonas Adu. So, liked what I saw there. When keeping those guys healthy. But I think you got more depth maybe than you think.
And Big Z, the thing we got to remember about him, and I listened to Cal in the postgame talk about this. So he only played 15 games in Kentucky last year. I was actually mad that he got eligibility last year. I was hoping he wasn't going to get graded eligible. It's so funny. Like I talked about, Carter Knox is my favorite player on this team, and he had just an incredible dunk last night. I hated his older brother, Kevin. Kentucky Wildcat, New York Knick, others. But it's like you're having to shift. Like I was hoping, I hope Big Z doesn't get eligible. He gets eligible. He adds to that team last year. Now you're happy he's on this basketball team, and he's going to continue to improve. And again, this kid's not even in a full part of his sophomore season because he didn't get a full season last year of playing. So there are elements of his game at 7'1", 7'2", whatever he is, that he can really develop into. He's bigger, he's thicker. If you watched him last year in Lexington versus what he is now, he's put on some weight, and he's just got good ball skills, and that's what you like. And talking about Jonas Adu just being a fully grown man, I mean, that's when you're going up against Brome, the kid that Alabama just got from Rutgers. I mean, there are some fully grown 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot centers you're going to play in this league, and you've got to have someone that can beat them off, and hopefully Jonas Adu is the guy.
So last night watching this game, and I don't know the answer to this, was last night a matter of they could turn it on, turn it off when they want, and they got a little relaxed, or does Arkansas have an incredible amount of work to do before they get to some of the bigger non-conference games and, of course, their conference slate?
I think it's important, and Cal talked about this. You're playing a team like Lipscomb, very good, 4 or 5 seniors, I think, on the roster, several guys that can score. This is a team that's played together a long time, right? So it's your first game, but it's not a walk in the park. It's not like my dad used to say, like a sister of the poor school. That was like his phrase back in the day. So you played a competent team that might be in the NCAA tournament this upcoming season. So it's a combination, Tommy, I think, of the quality of team that you played your initial game. I know it's not a marquee team or whatever, but there's still a lot of work to do. Like, no one thinks that this team on November the 6th isn't going to be anywhere they're going to be in mid-March. There's a lot of work to do with this team.
I did get a sense, and Big C, you were there, I did get a sense during that game Arkansas would turn it on, turn it off a little bit in stretches of that game. You saw it firsthand. Am I right or am I wrong about that?
It never really felt like Arkansas was out of control. I know they made.
You never felt like they were going to lose the game.
Lipscomb made like a pretty good little run there. Like Arkansas was up by maybe like 15, and they cut it to like
those
6 or 7.
Well, they had the 4-point play. They had the made 3 and
what's a cardinal sin on a basketball court?
You never foul a 3-point shooter, and then you certainly don't come down and give them another and one. So that was 7 points. In 2 trips. I mean, that'll kill corn knee high right there.
And then I think Big Z got that and one, and that kind of changed things.
But that 3-pointer, even then, it cut to 9. I think at that moment.
Yeah,
Was there a sense in the building that, man, they're in trouble?
It got down to like 4, and that's just when Lipscomb kind of went on their run. They were hitting threes, and I was glad to see them like withstand that run and then take over the game again. Because, I mean, they'd been easily in control of the game before that. So, and you're right, Lipscomb's going to be probably in the NCAA tournament. So, not a bad first showing.
Lipscomb had their biggest lead of the game was with 10:01 in the first half. So 10 minutes in, they were up 5. They made that 11-point run we're talking about that was fueled by those and ones with just under 8 minutes to go. But it never really felt like, man, Arkansas, I never felt like they were in danger of losing the ball game, or like you said, they'd never lost control, but I thought they just got a little lax at times.
Jody and Harrison says it's nice to see 9 or 10 play together. We haven't been like that in a long time. I mean, I'd argue that you had some Musselman teams that had 8 or 9 guys that could play. I think maybe the talent wasn't where it's at, but we got a long way to go. By the way, probably beat them off the glass is probably a better term than beat them off, as John points out. As soon as I said that, I was just like, that's not good. So another.
I would have brought it up twice.
Another time. Well, I just wanted to readdress and make sure that I did notice that here in our opening drive, which I know Ethan is happy to be sponsoring. Ethan Adamson and their entire team at First Financial Mortgage, and I'm happy that he was my mortgage lender. They got another 5-star review recently on Google. Go to their Google page. If you don't believe me, type in First Financial Mortgage Fort Smith. Look at the number of 5-star Google reviews from all the people that him, Emily, and their team have helped. Give them a call at 479-782-9300 or go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. Football-wise, you've got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens going at each other tonight. Big divisional game. We'll see if Joe Burrow and the Bengals can at least stay in the playoff hunt. It doesn't look too likely right now. Football this weekend, marquee games in the Southeastern Conference with Ole Miss hosting Georgia. You've also got LSU hosting Alabama as well. But I kind of got that basketball fix after last night a little bit. Of course, college football is going to be on my mind this weekend, being in South Bend. But I'm going to have the phone up in South Bend watching that Arkansas Baylor game.
Well, and, we will here, but the country's not in football mode. I don't think any of us are in basketball mode. Yeah. We're still in football mode. And I think that was evident last night. I was shocked when I turned the stream on to see the crowd never really fill in, even in the lower bowl. Now, on TV, Big C, I couldn't see how the upper bowl looked, but I'm going to assume if it was thin downstairs. Empty. And that surprised me, but it also spoke to the fact that, it's the day after the election. People aren't really thinking basketball. And I think the other point that got lost somewhere in this last night is this really wasn't the season opener. I know it counted first, but it wasn't the first look at the team. A lot of people made that Kansas game. That was a full house for that. Speaks to the level or the name brand of an opponent and what that does to bring people to the arena. Mm-hmm. I was, though, I was underwhelmed last night by the crowd.
Let me ask you.
And listen, I'm pointing finger back at me because I wasn't there either.
Oh, but, same here. Big.
But I really, but you know what? Had no trouble giving my tickets away. All of our tickets got used. Mm-hmm. Had no trouble giving those away. That's
5 minutes.
Right. I mean, had no trouble finding someone to take them. So I thought the arena would be 15,000, 16,000. It wasn't anywhere close.
What you're saying is Tommy Kraft and Ty Richardson did not do their part by filling in the hole that should have been our attendance.
No, I did. I mean, someone sat in my seat.
Yeah, you passed them all. Like we said yesterday, if you ever have tickets, you're not going to use them. You're not going to sell them. Give them to us. We'll give them. I promise.
Wednesdays is a busy night at our house because both kids got stuff going on.
Okay.
But
I don't have an excuse.
Well, I mean, I just wasn't fired up to go see Lipscomb.
That's the thing.
Don't get me wrong. It was a good crowd for a Wednesday game.
Exactly, but
they had an effect on the game.
I thought being Cal's first game, you'd see 15 plus, and it didn't look anywhere near that on TV.
And we got to remind ourselves, Arkansas has one. It's either top 10, top 15 biggest venues in college football or college basketball. So our version of not a good crowd, last night,
the first game in the Cal era, I just thought it would be. It was a historical night to a great degree.
And I think if I remember seeing this correctly, the game in Lexington, I know Cameron Indoor's smaller, but it looked better from a television standpoint than what you saw last night. Now, let me pose this because you brought up the football, basketball comparison. I think this is something we can tie in the question. I'm going to give you this scenario and our audience at 877-377-6963. And I personally think one's more likely. You got a chance to beat Texas next week in football or go to the Final Four first year in Cal.
Final Four.
Well, Final Four. That's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Okay, you beat Texas next week. What's that really? That dramatically change the trajectory of the season?
Texas. Okay, then let me because that was a quick answer. Let me change that. You beat Texas and Missouri and Louisiana Tech.
You win out.
You win out, and you win your bowl game. I guess I have to change that. I thought that would be
an Elite Eight. Yeah.
No, Final Four. You get a Final Four.
I know
appearance.
But that's what I'm saying. I'll take the Elite Eight instead of Final Four.
That's a tougher question.
Is that okay? You can. And again, 877-377-6963.
I'll go to the Final Four
in football.
8 wins in football,
which would be Sam Pittman's second best year. It would be the equivalent of any Brett Bielema year. His best record was 8-5 in 2015. You should not get into 10 or 11 like Bobby did. But is that worth it to you? As you eloquently put out, I mean, we're still in football mode. So I still think there are people out there that would take 8 wins in football, particularly the opponents. You've never won in Columbia. You hate the Texas Longhorns. It's biblical. And you could win out a bowl game and the Louisiana Tech game. And then you have a huge amount of positivity heading into the offseason. Now, personally, I think they got a better chance to go to the Final Four than they do beating Texas solo next week. I
I'll
hope
take
I'm wrong
8-4
about
in
that.
football, and if I can get an Elite Eight instead of a Final Four. But
we're talking about stuff that's, not going to happen.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I mean, they may go to the Final Four and they may beat Texas, but I mean,
Cashing
I don't think the football and basketball gods are going to, step into the studio here and ask us what we want to do.
Cash in Mountain Home says, "Give me 0-12 in the Final Four all day." Text at the 870 says, "Thank you for the tickets, Tommy."
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
And it's Tony at T's Barbecue in Harrison. He went last night.
JT in Hot Springs says, "Still the Final Four."
Those ribs were really good last week, by the way.
There you go.
Not the brisket, not the ribs.
Okay, you should have got both.
Well,
when in doubt, order both.
I think Tony will probably fix me up next time.
JT in Hot Springs.
Remember them tickets, Tony.
Yeah.
Get some pork rinds.
Still Final Four. Football is 7-2 right now. Winning out would be my choice, but we're 5-4, and it's a different story for JT in Hot Springs. You're right. That's not. But it's a radio show. It's Thursday. I'm about to leave in an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm trying to
What
bring
do you
in
mean
some
you're about
positive.
to leave?
Going to Tulsa. Flight's out of here.
Oh, so
gotta make.
Hey, tell the ladies out front, write you down for a half a vacation day then
That's
today.
fine. Yeah, half whole.
Whole.
I've got like 40 of a pair. No, in reality, I've got about 5 commercials I've got to cut after the show. A little behind the scenes.
We got a meeting. We got some training at noon. You got to be a part of it. Yeah.
It's scheduling. It's just
and we got
hard.
a Grammarly lesson too coming up.
Now
for
that
you.
is actually what. That is actually what. You know what?
I've gotten a corporate subscription on your behalf for Grammarly.
I feel bad. I feel bad because I actually think I'm rubbing off on Bo. I listened to Bo for years. I never heard him make grammatical or errors on air, and now since he has to listen to me and has listened to me, it's more of a thing than I remember any point of my college career listening, working, and doing all that. And it's probably the entire radio station infecting the radio station.
The consensus when you're not in the room and we're talking crap about you is you make enough mistakes for all of us, so we don't have to make any.
That's probably a good way to look at it.
All right, so we got a bet with your dad for Arts Barbecue.
Yes,
That's the deal. Spread, no spread. What are we doing?
No, he wanted straight up.
Straight up. All right.
Which, by the way, college basketball line's usually day before, day of, so we'll find out tomorrow.
All right. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So you're not here for the show tomorrow?
No.
Oh, happy day. me and Big C and Clay tomorrow. That'll be fun. All right, Arts Barbecue. Man, I win or lose, we're going to win, right?
Yes.
So I mean, that's a winning deal.
Win or lose, you'll pay or my dad pays. We win either way.
Wait a minute. You made the bet.
Yeah, but you have to. You're the boss, and Christian knows when he goes to a restaurant with me. Christian, who pays?
Tommy still pays. Don't know.
No, he knows. He knows. Thank you. It's just it's part of the job.
Yeah.
Part of the gig.
In fact, I'm meeting a buddy of mine, good friend of mine, Brian, over at Arts today for lunch. And he has never been. I said, let's have lunch. He said, where? And he said, hey, can we go to Arts? I hear you talk about Arts all the time. I've never been there. I want to try Arts. So I got to call Wade up and say, hey, I got a newbie coming in. We need a sampler platter or something today. So that's really the way to go when you've never been to Arts. They got the Artilio. It's 3 meats. You get like 3 sides with it.
Sold me to come here.
And we've done that several times where we've brought someone into town and go to Arts, and Wade will fix us up with one of them big sampler platters. So try that at Arts, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Tomorrow morning about this time, we'll have just finished the Fence Man Friday picks. Anything you need involving a fence, gate, powered automatic gates, the Fence Man can do it. 782-3936, or if you've had some damage from the recent storms to your fence, they can repair those as well. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Guys, I commend you. You're working at it. Good job. Thank you very much.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Jayhawk fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Kick it out. Feed it to Thero, and he drives the lane for a two-hand slam.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Our brand new Barling location is now open at 942 Fort Street. Get these red hot buys at all 5 locations. A 230-piece Craftsman Versa Stack Mechanics tool set, only $99. Milwaukee Select M12 and M18 tools and batteries, also $99. And Ace Reward members get super instant savings on select DeWalt and Craftsman tools and accessories. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hoghats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hey, how about Big Z stepping out, knocking down a 3 last night? Looked good against the Lipscomb Bisons.
Tried to feed a Visich on the right wing. Big Z gathers it in, buries the 3. I'm not sure that that's really the shot they wanted, but they're glad to have it, and Arkansas is up by 7.
I don't know if you watched that possession, Tommy, but the ball was deflected. It kind of bounced out to him. He kind of just grabbed it and shot it. You know how you have sometimes like, no, and then it goes in. That was one of those shots last night.
Yeah, and, there was a few bumps in the road, but like we've talked about, they were in control of that game, and I don't want to say I've got less concerns, but I last night didn't increase my concerns about this team or the rest of the season.
Yep, he finished with 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Here's Cal on him after the game.
Now, what we did at the end, really happy with Z. Finally, Z gave us what we need, which is throw the ball in there, and if they double team, he throws to somebody.
Put his back to the basket a few times. Again, finishes 5 of 6. Zvonimir Ivisic. I'm trying to get better at saying that. Listen to Chuck talk about it, but you saw him and Jonas Adu. You hadn't necessarily seen that from a lot of the other guys, but they did throw it in the post a couple times last night.
You know, when you got a guy like that going 5 of 6, let's see, Adu goes 1 of 2, and Tiero goes 4 of 6. That helps you get that total game percentage to 54%.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get points like that, Arkansas is going to be one of the higher percentage teams from the floor, just because you should get a lot of high percentage shots with those guys inside.
Yep, 56. I think, Tommy, you got that in the second half, if I have that correctly.
Yep.
Cal said that was kind of a strategy down the stretch.
If you have no post presence, your team's a fraud. And the reason is, if you think every game we're going to make threes, you're not. So you got to have other ways of scoring to win a game when you don't make shots. How do you do that? Where do you go with it? And we've got to figure that out, and that's my job as a coach. But you notice how we ground it out at the end. If you were at the TCU game, I let them do the end of the game. Well, that was on me because we hadn't worked on end of the game stuff. We just hadn't. So now from that, thank God we played TCU. I could come here and say, here's how we're finishing off a game.
Kind of like let him screw up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes, like, you're a parent. You know, sometimes, like, your kid, the hot oven stove, and you keep telling them not to, and then you're like, you know what, let's try another strategy, because they keep being interested, and you just let them, burn their hand for a little bit, and then they know better the next time. Well, this situation, hey, this is what happens when we don't follow what I want down the stretch. You're going to lose. We're going to do it my way. We're going to win a basketball game.
But like I said, they hadn't even really worked on it. So I don't know if he's, they'll get into that situational basketball, I guess. One thing that's certainly different from last year, at least through one game, we'll see if these numbers look the same, free throw attempts.
I was going to say that.
4 of 7. Had three in the first half, made them all. 1 of 4 in the second half. 4 of 7 for the game. 7.
That's it.
I mean, that was certainly a focal point under Musselman. I don't know if this is an anomaly or what we'll see, but, you're not going to be a drive to the rim team as much. Get it inside, get those looks. If you don't have it, get double team, kick it out for a 3. That's not going to lend itself in and of itself to draw a lot of free throw attempts. So 7 FTAs last night's a lot different than what we're used to.
Here's one of the things they are similar on threes. They had 4 last night. That was an Achilles heel at times for that team last year. They couldn't throw to the ocean. Really, Eric Musselman's teams, for the most part, with the exception of that year 2 squad, couldn't really shoot from the outside. I wonder, Cal talked about that a little bit, and I wonder if that's going to be a strength eventually.
Now, for the game last night, because I know you love to credit the officials, there's only 23 fouls total called in the game. 11 on Arkansas, 12.
Clean game, boys. Clean game. Who was there last? Who was there? I know you want to say who was there.
It doesn't matter to me. Joe Lindsay, James Breeding, and Devin Page. But
Joe Lindsay sounds familiar.
Yeah,
there were some tic-tac
both those
calls
guys
last night towards Lipscomb. I mean, I get on us towards Lipscomb. Like the fans were rowdy last night on some of the calls. I'm just gonna say
there just weren't. My point is not a lot of fouls in the game, so you're not going to have a lot of free throw attempts. There was only 9 for Lipscomb and 7 for Arkansas, so this was not a game. That's why it moved along so fast. You didn't have a lot of stoppages for free throws.
All right, that is your Hog Updates, brought to you by our friends in Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
And BE makes a good point. When you're shooting 60+% in the paint, and your big guys are getting looks and shots, and you're making a few threes, there's just not opportunities for 3-point or for free throws rather. So when you're taking looks that don't draw fouls, you're not going to have a lot of free throw attempts.
JT in Hot Springs also adds, Tommy, that it took him burning his hand 4 times before he finally understood. Sometimes
I picked up quicker than that. It didn't take me that long.
The burning, that's not fun when you have to put ice water on your hand or ice your hand after you scar it a little bit. Listen, you're a parent, I'm not. My dad has had his parenting styles, has had my mom and my stepmom over the years, and sometimes again hey, just let them learn. Let them learn the old-fashioned way. That helps it better in some cases.
That's the problem. The old-fashioned way is not used anymore. That burning would be on your backside, not on your hand. So then you'd learn.
The good old, what is it, switch? Is that what y'all called it? Is that what they called it back in the day?
You didn't have to go pick a switch. No.
My dad had this, like an actual spanker. It literally said spanker on it. I don't think they make them anymore, but that thing hurt.
Well.
And it's a shame I didn't learn my lesson from all those years ago.
Belts. Ugh.
Yeah. All right, you can check out the full weekend coming up at BetSaracen.com. Some huge SEC games. We'll look over the lines again tomorrow. Download the Bet Saracen app to your phone and have it ready to go for a huge weekend. I know a lot of you will be listening and watching from Deer Camp as well. Got a lot of games coming up in Fayetteville, a lot of things happening on campus, holidays as well. If you're planning a trip and you need a great place to stay overnight, the Inn at the Mill is our favorite spot. 479-443-1800 is our number. Look online at innatthemill.com. They're right there at the Johnson exit, close to everything in Northwest Arkansas. That's the Inn at the Mill. 443-1800.
All right, more of the Morning Rush. Morning Rush Daily Question next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Tim Brando, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baum-Walker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb pages for him.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye!
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
This is Ricky Young with Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes, vegetable-related rock for a healthier lifestyle. When we have any problem at all, we call 782-8940.
It's a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and Coach John Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. If you have tickets, make sure they're being used. If you need tickets, head over to SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek, that's the official resale marketplace of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3. Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
So what excited you about last night's basketball outing with Lipscomb? The season opener, Arkansas wins, had a little bit of a struggle in the second half at a moment, but never really had the game in doubt, end up winning by 16, 76-60. You know, we often focus on the easy question, what are you concerned about after game one? Let's flip it. What are you excited about? What have you seen there? Is it the guard play? I think it's the front court play. And you spoke to the depth and the concerns about that. I think you got three players, and particularly two that, you know, when Avicic fully develops and how green he is, I'm excited about what a 1-2 punch you can have there inside. That's what excites me the most. What's exciting you after watching last night and seeing a bit more of that roster unfold?
So I really like the freshman. I know Boogie Flank gets all the attention, but Billy Richmond and then also Carter Knox, who had the dunk of the night.
Got to hurry now. Knox to the rim with a one-hand flush.
Love Carter Knox. He's my favorite player on this team. I just want to see where they can expand their games. There's some guys that are already polished on this basketball team. They're either coming over from a different school or they're in their second year under Cal. They're getting better and they're developing. But, I mean, freshmen are always raw, right? There's a lot of areas that they can improve. So I would say the ceilings for Billy Richmond and Carter Knox are something I'm looking forward to, and saw a little bit of flash last night from those two.
And I think we saw I think you could take their names out and put Z in there, Big Z in there, and say the same thing, right? How green he is.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that flash there at the end, and Cal spoke about that after the game, that, you know, the ball would come in, he'd get double teamed, he'd kick it out, and that's what they were wanting. But he kind of took over the game there late.
Yeah, here's what Cal said about him a little more.
Because we were throwing him the ball. Like we just said, we're throwing him, DJ threw 2 away. You want to throw it by his feet? He's 7'2". Where do you think you would throw it? Like up high. He's 7'2". Don't throw a spinner. Throw it up high. Then he physically bent over, moved the guy, got to the rim. He's really skilled. He's got to want to play rough. He made a 3, which was a big 3 that stretched out the game. That's all fine. If he does that post stuff and rebounds and blocks some shots and gets in better shape, I don't mind him shooting 3s. Matter of fact, he's probably making more 3s than anybody on this team. How about that statement?
That's kind of funny. Hey, you're 7'2" center, and he's a new age center, but I don't have his.
See, last night he was 1 for 2, but you get him in there and they're in man and you draw out the big guy, you're going to open up a lane for one of those guards to go attack the rim. I mean, isn't that like reason 1 or 1A? You let your big guy shoot a 3. A, you think he can make it, but B,
5 out. Yeah,
he opens up the driving lanes.
Seth in Fort Smith says Carter Knox is really good. He's similar to how Joe Johnson was, as smooth as he played. That's what he likes to see from Knox. And again, there's so many things that could happen in these next couple months. I mean, it's November right now. We're talking about the early stage of this basketball, but there are plenty of things that you do like. Big C, what did you like? You were there. I mean, what did you take in last night in Bud Walton Arena?
I like the tenacity on defense. Lipscomb didn't really have any easy baskets, like drive wide open. There was one where Big Z kind of had a miscommunication and they just kind of dumped it over him, but the ability just to create turnovers and pickpocket, go down the court. I mean, we needed those buckets last night.
That the one you're talking about in the second half, and then Cal calls an immediate timeout?
Yes.
I mean, just got in their tail.
Yeah,
about it. That was one where right underneath, like, who's defending this guy?
I didn't know.
And I mean, it didn't take Cal long to shut it down.
Well, yeah, Big C started yelling. I forget if it was at Knox or whoever else, and then Cal starts yelling at him for blaming. So it was one of those things where.
But I like the response. You know, it was immediate. So, but what excites you? You can text your thoughts in. We got a few here. Carter Knox is really good, says Seth. I think you read that one a minute ago. What excites you about this season? What do you feel more encouraged about after last night? 877-377-6963. That's your Morning Rush Daily question. Time to play some indoor golf with our friends at Cart Path Social.
Yes, stop by and see Christian, Nate, their entire team at Cart Path Social, located in Lowell, 122 Grant Place. Check out what they have online at cartpathsocial.com. It's getting colder here in the natural state. That doesn't drop your love for golf. Well, you can play one of over 500 courses. Men's leagues have started up, so if you want to take advantage of that, go to cartpathsocial.com. You can contact them at 479-487-3622. Great place for corporate events. You've got so many opportunities, birthday parties. There's so many different things. I know Tommy's personal favorite, the gender reveal parties that you can also have at Cart Path Social.
Find me at any of those. Yeah. Have me checked out.
CartPathSocial.com, #1 indoor golf facility in Arkansas. We also received another text from Bart and Rogers, and I think this is something that every one of our audience would agree on. He says, I'm a broke hillbilly Razorback fan with a decent-sized family. Unfortunately, I can't go to games and take everyone and afford to. Parking stinks too. The U of A needs to work better during the early season games and get more of us folks in that can't normally afford those seats. Again, we have a massive stick here that we would like to help utilize as best we can for many of our fans that either don't get to go to games often, maybe you don't get to go to games at all. And if you're not going, there's no sense of just letting them sit in your account. If they're not selling, you might as well give them away to someone like Barton Rogers, who him and his family would absolutely take advantage of it. I know last year, Tommy, they had that email where it's like must bus tickets at uark.edu or whatever it was where you sent. I haven't seen anything out about that, but he's right. I mean, as excited as people are for Arkansas basketball, you're not in basketball mode just yet. So there's going to be people that just won't go. You might as well make sure someone's in your seats like you did yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, because I just don't want the things to go wasted. I mean, paid a lot of money for them. That's kind of my deal is, well, and they're all they're going to do is go up in price. So let's get someone in that seat. If I can't go, let's get somebody there. So 100%.
Might as well take advantage of that. On this day, back in 2000.
But they do need a better mechanism to do that. And everybody's looking for something for free. I get that. How do you set something up and build that to give free tickets away? I don't know. I don't know what the technical solution is, but you're right. There needs to be a way to do that.
Nearly 20 years ago today, on this day in 2005, see if you guys know this without looking at the rundown. What historic stadium, baseball, MLB, was destroyed, slashed?
In 2005? Well, it wasn't Yankee Stadium because that came.
Think of our audience.
Oh, it'd be the old Busch Stadium.
Back in 2005 to made new for the new ballpark. That is the current Busch Stadium. You had tons of people line up on nearly 40-year-old facility that it was. I was thinking about that. Like, again, as much as I hate to say it, like Notre Dame Stadium is one of the top 10 venues in all of college football. I hate saying that.
Historic?
Like historic.
I mean, I don't know that the stadium. I haven't been there, but I don't look at their stadium and say, "Man, that is a palace."
It's
historic.
A football, basketball, baseball. What historic stadium do you want to go? Mine is Fenway, and I'm not even a huge baseball guy, but that just seems. I've been to Wrigley. I didn't go to the.
I want to go to Wrigley just because I want to make that trip to Chicago. I've never, for whatever reason, never been to Chicago. Didn't get that done this summer. Fenway's up there as well. Lambeau Field, yeah. How many times have you been? You're a huge Packers fan. I'm sure you've been 6, 8, 10 times. How many times have you been?
I've been to a Packers game.
I mean, you've been a lifelong. As you said, you're a lifelong Packers fan.
I mean,
How many times have you been?
You see the pictures of me in like elementary school wearing Packers gear.
So
there's the quote unquote air quote lifelong Kansas City Chiefs fan, i.e. 6 years ago, and then there's me who is an atrocious Oklahoma City Thunder and Green Bay Packer fan. By the way, we lost last night. First loss of the season for the Thunder. Shea had a chance to tie it / win at the end. Unfortunately missed it. But I am fully admitted, terrible Packers fan. So I've not been.
You've never been?
No.
How many Thunder games you been to?
Like 10.
Okay.
I've been to a lot. Because, I mean,
been to a few
Oklahoma City, it's an interstate away. It's right there. It's Lambeau's, 15 hours up to Wisconsin?
Well, aren't you going this weekend to Chicago, and you're going right over to see a Notre Dame game?
Northwestern is right in the middle.
Sounds like
of
you don't
Chicago.
prioritize your time for your team.
You know what? You're right. I don't even know if the Packers are at home this weekend, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know who they're playing. Again, I'm a terrible Packers fan. But
Are you even a fan?
I told you, fantasy football has killed my Packers fandom. It's killed it. It's murdered it. Like, the Thunder Ducks are a bigger deal to me than the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the Cowboys have just killed your own fandom. Yeah. And you didn't get to experience fun Cowboys time. You have lived your entire life of being mediocre, Christian, as a Dallas Cowboy fan. That's why you're a true Dallas Cowboy fan, because you continue to put up with it.
Ben and P. Rich says Camden Yards in Baltimore. That'd be a cool one. Madison Square Garden's on the bucket list for Alex in Northwest Arkansas.
Have you been?
No, I've never been. I've been outside of MSG, but obviously going in about a month. Let's see, what's today, the 7th? Just 33 or 4 days, I'll be up there.
It's cool.
A month from tomorrow, I'll be flying in.
I think, if I remember correctly, when I was 7 and we went to a game, I think Ray Allen hit a game winner over the New York Knicks when he was on the Seattle Supersonics. Back when the Supersonics, pre-Oklahoma City, had a team. It is... you remember when you were talking to me about a Hinkle Fieldhouse, and you were like, you need to stay up there because you as a basketball fan need to experience it. And it was so, like, you walk into that venue and you, shiver. It's like, I mean, of all the great players, the Bradleys, you're going to have to help me out, the Willis Reeds, like all Chuck's old boys back in the day. Like that, Patrick Ewing, thanks, Big C. I mean, I know that the Knicks traditionally haven't just been like a Boston Celtics or Lakers, but that is the best basketball venue in the country. Bar none.
Would agree, but there's been so many other huge events, concerts, boxing, hockey. I mean, Madison Square Garden is
Is that where you beat Russia?
a sports.
No, it's Lake Placid. That was Lake Placid. Never mind.
It is a iconic venue. So that's on my bucket list. Probably not near the top, but
I think there's going to be a lot of Arkansas fans there, Tommy.
Oh, I think so too.
I've got several friends that are going. You've talked to me about you've got several friends. Bruce, Stan, our buddy.
My wife is excited about the trip. Not so much that she's getting to go to Madison Square Garden and see the Razorbacks. That's probably the low light of the trip, not the highlight. But she's excited about going to New York at Christmas time.
See, you've got to stop by and see the tree.
Oh, absolutely. That's like top of the list.
When we did Thanksgiving there, we did the parade. We saw the tree before we left, guys. It's unbelievable.
Hey, all right. Next time the Hogs are on TV, half-price apps and taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's Throwback Thursday. Tomorrow is Fajita Friday. And then Saturday, all the enchiladas you can eat for $15 at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They are on South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith, so be sure and get by there. Another hour coming up in the Morning Rush. Your calls and texts are welcome. It's brought to you by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They've got immediate job openings in Northwest and North Central Arkansas right now. Licensed CDL drivers, heavy equipment operators. They've opened a new quarry, and they need staff there as well. And they need people to work on that equipment as well. Go to jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shop.razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 0 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag. Loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny to partly cloudy skies. Our high today in the middle to upper 60s. We'll see an increase in the cloud cover tonight. A few showers further south. Our temperatures upper 40s north, mid 50s south. And then Friday, a chance of some scattered showers, a high in the 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Zasman drives the paint. It's blocked from behind by Big Z. Wagner out of there with it. The Hogs are just going to run out the clock now. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. John Calipari officially has his first win as the Razorbacks head coach. 76-60, our final score.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about them Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those.
You won 850 some games, but this is your first in Bud Walton Arena that somebody's going to give you a game ball for. I want everybody in here to sign it. So sign your name like you're signing, not number 3. No, sign your name.
You two have a good signature. You heard Cal get the
right.
game ball from Hunter Yurchek. He asked his team to sign their name, not their signature. Mine is awful.
I scribble.
Mine's terrible. It's T-Y-E-R. It's barely legible. I don't know how people read it or see it, but I think that makes sense. You know how you have, I have a bunch of sign Razorback, NCAA tournament stuff. Like as a kid, you're just like, sure, can I have an autograph? And then I'm 29 years old. I'm looking back at this stuff, and I don't know who any of these people are because you can't read any of it all these years later. And
well,
so I get
if your signature is ever going to have any value, it has to be legible.
Well, I'm not worried about it ever being valuable, and I am worried about it ever being legible. To be perfectly honest.
Hey, you like gumbo?
I do like gumbo.
They got
gumbo.
They got some gumbo they've added to the menu. Part of their one of their vegan dishes that's over at Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. It's full of greens like collards and mustard greens and rainbow sweet chard, okra, poblano peppers, and a lot more. It's a different way, and it's got a mixture of wild mushrooms, and they also add in some lobster mushrooms and local Blue Moon mushroom from Blue Moon Mushroom Farm. So you can see it on their Facebook page. It's really an interesting dish. I'm a gumbo fan, so one of the new items they've added at Uncorked, Chef Jazz, always looking for new and things you've never tried before. New items like that's on the menu. The fall menu's out. You can check that out. One of the house staples is the for an appetizer is the fried deviled eggs. I tell people about these when I'm out, and a lot of places that you go to have added deviled eggs to their appetizer menus. Always a kind of a really good way. I was telling some folks in Hot Springs about the fried deviled eggs at Uncorked. They're like, we're coming up there just for that. Their spicy meatballs. They have really got a lot of cool stuff. Mention the patio weather, man. The late afternoons, like yesterday, was just prime to be on the patio at Uncorked. And even when it's starting to cool off, as it's getting darker in the 5 o'clock hour, they got the fire tables and ways to keep you warm out there with the heaters as well, if that's needed. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Always a great bourbon selection, wine selection, beers on tap. It's a comfortable place with a friendly staff and a great menu as well. Make your reservations for weekend dining online at uncorkedthefort.com and see my friends at Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's in Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Mach 1 Financial. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
All right, Tom, we were joking about signatures earlier. What's your signature look like? Is it legendary? Can you read it? Is it chicken scratch? Does it look good? What's it like?
I made a decision as probably a teenager. When I'm signing, I want people to be able to read it. As the years have gone by, the Murphy part is a little bit more scratchy, but you can see Thomas, and I put my middle initial in, L, and you can read it. I don't like doctors, the prescriptions, and it's just a undecipherable deal. So y'all make your signatures so people can read it and understand it.
Tommy is yours. Do you sign it Thomas or is it Tommy?
It's Tommy.
Okay, it's Tommy. So there's a little difference between the two. Tom, we'll talk some more football next week. We'll talk a little bit later on, but let's talk about what we saw last night in Bud Walton Arena as Arkansas wins by 16 against the Lipscomb Bisons. We saw some true freshmen, we saw some Kentucky transfers, and we saw a couple other guys. What did you mainly see in that win last night?
Well, I'm glad they overcame their. To me, the offensive movement wasn't good, wasn't what you want to see. And you heard John Calipari talk about that after the game. You want to take threes, go inside out. Pass the ball around, get it inside, and then you'll have a more open look. So, we saw Arkansas struggle with 3-point shooting last year, and it kind of haunted them. And we keep hearing this is going to be a good 3-point shooting team. So they're going to have to get better at that. I like the way they defended. So I went in the post game. I talked to Lenny Acoff, the Lipscomb coach, who, by the way, visited with John Calipari a good bit before the game. And as it turns out, they're kind of buddies. Cal has a house in Nashville, and they visit. They're on the NABC board together, and so he's like, "Hey, Arkansas fans, this is my first note today. Arkansas fans, get ready to have some fun. This guy loves basketball. You're about to start winning winning big." So, but he talked about how well Arkansas defended. Like, nothing came easy for us. And if you saw their leading scorer, Jacob, and I can't pronounce his last name, but they really bodied him up. They made things tough. And so if that's your first game presenting how you're going to look defensively. That was a really good debut. They've got to get better offensively. I think they understand that. But all in all, they got up 15, and then, bam, there was a 4-point play and a 3-point play, and suddenly it's a 4-point game. And so you got to give Lipscomb credit for fighting back. But Arkansas didn't panic or whatever, and then they rebuilt the lead again and ended up winning, going away.
Probably my I don't say most memorable moment, but it stood out to me is there was a defensive breakdown, easy bucket right underneath. Cal immediately calls timeout. Got on his team, coached him up there. That was a moment that stood out to me that hey, he is not going to tolerate defensive breakdowns like that.
No, he's not. I mean, then he prides himself on calling himself a grinder, and he wants his teammates or his players to know that. And I've been reading various stuff about Cal, and it's like elite players come to play for him because they're going to get coached up hard. Mm-hmm. He's going to pull, and it completely different topic. But I watched this highlight, top moments of Cal last night, and he makes all these vocalizations, and he'll start to say something and go off in another direction. It's hard to quote him really succinctly because his mind is going all these different places, and he'll begin to say some point and cut it off in midstream and go in some other point. He'll use nicknames, and it's a little bit like Sam Pittman. To get real precise, succinct quotes as a journalist, it's a little bit difficult. You have to use the ellipses and kind of understand where he's coming from to put it in context.
Yeah. Last night, Arkansas ends up shooting 54% from the floor. I don't know how. I don't have the chart in front of me that shows where the shots were taken from, but 16 of the 63 shots came from the front court players at least. Arkansas only had 7 free throw attempts, which is much different than what we've seen in the past. Tom, this is not going to be a team that lives at the free throw line, but you don't have to when you're making inside shots and you're pretty decent from the outside as well. At times, they had streaks last night, but in the end, not a great percentage. But that was one thing that stood out to me. Not a lot of fouls called, and only 16 total free throws attempted in the ball game last night between the two teams.
I think and I think they'll get better at that. I mean, some games the refs are going to call it really tight, and some games they'll let it go a little bit more. Nobody likes when there's too many whistles in a game. So I do believe they'll see that and understand we've got to get inside. We've got to draw more contact, and I think that will be on the rise. Boogie Flan, look at his shooting. I think if you take away his 1 for 8 from 3-point range, mm-hmm. he shot well over 50 on 2.
Well,
it'd
be 6 of 10, yeah, because he was 7 of 18, yeah.
He's got a nice game. I think he's going to be such a key player for them. But he has to understand what his strengths are. And some of his threes were open. Some of them were a little bit more, not so much in the flow. But I just think that's a good example of this is what we're good at. Let's do that. And the 3-point shooting, hopefully for them, will come around.
Yeah, and John L. Davis was 7 of 12, including 1 of 4 from behind the 3-point line. So they took 19 threes, which was probably a few too many last night when no one made more than one. Individually.
No doubt. Yeah. And as I say, I think it looks to me like they're going to be a decent free throw shooting team. And so part of the plan moving forward is to do what you're good at, get it inside, draw some contact, and look, the threes will open up better if you just work it in more and go inside out.
Talking with Tom Murphy this morning, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, crowd wasn't great last night. Are we going to see it improve, even though there's not a lot of marquee non-conference games at home? A lot of these are neutral site games or away games. Are we going to see better crowds, or are we just going to have to wait till January in conference play?
Yeah, that's a good question. And as you saw, Eric Musselman pointed that out with their pool crowd the other day at USC. But I don't know the answer to that. So this was a midweek game, obviously on a Wednesday. I think generally, you start winning, you'll get more people out there. But I expected more than that last night. I think we actually talked about it on Tuesday, and I just felt like there'd be more people there. So don't know exactly what the deal was, but you keep winning. You turn yourself into an exciting team, and the fans will show up.
Well, and they don't play a Saturday game at home until December the 7th. They don't play a marquee game until, or marquee opponent, a name brand opponent at least, maybe is a better way to phrase it, until conference play with Ole Miss. But, Troy is next up a week from last night on Wednesday. Then you get Pacific the following Monday. Little Rock comes in. That'll draw maybe a few more in-state fans. Maryland Eastern Shore, UT San Antonio, North Carolina A&T, Oakland, all before you start conference play on a Wednesday night with Ole Miss. Only one Saturday game, I believe, in that entire. No, there's two Saturday games. North Carolina A&T, the other. So
here's.
Yeah, I mean, not a super sexy deal. So it's going to have to be a little bit self-generated, and I don't know exactly what might have been going on, but I think it will pick up.
Well, beat Baylor, beat Michigan, win some of those marquee neutral site games away from home, and I think that will pick up business for the home. And I think getting out of football mode. I think we're all still in football mode at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, I mean, I'm still in football mode, being the main football guy, but it was really fun to be there last night. I enjoyed that.
So, Tom, with no game this weekend, I know we talked to Richard a little bit yesterday. Is there anything you think this team will do differently than maybe the last bye? I know they were coming off a win against Tennessee, heading into LSU. They just got clobbered at home to Ole Miss. Is there anything you think they do differently in this bye week, getting ready for Texas next weekend?
Well, I mean, I think they did a good job. They had walkthroughs on the early days, and then got after it a little bit more. I guess it was Wednesday and Thursday of the first bye week. This is the time of year, though, when you start cutting back a little bit on the physicality to make sure you got your legs. And having Taylor Green and Jaquindon Jackson healthy for the stretch drive, I mean, those are your two your biggest total offense guys on the team. And so who knows what Taylor Green's knee will look like. I mean, Sam Pittman confirmed it was a bruised or sprained knee yesterday. And so, I mean, he played on it a little bit. So you'd like to think that by the time the Texas game rolls around, he'll be able to play on it. But I will tell you this. You guys asked me, at what point maybe do you start Malachi Singleton? And I said, well, I don't think you replace Taylor Green if he's healthy. But at least Bobby Petrino and Sam Pittman can feel better if, okay, so LSU game, we know that Taylor Green wasn't fully healthy. They didn't run him as much, and they admitted to that. So if he's in the same kind of condition or shape, do you consider starting Malachi Singleton? I mean, his efficiency numbers look good. I mean, there's been a few bad snaps. And if you think about the first few snaps against Tennessee didn't go well, they had to settle for a field goal. First few snaps against Ole Miss didn't go well, and they settled for a long field goal and made it. But then he settled in, and they really moved up. That touchdown pass to Luke Hasz, that was a premier college football level pass, down the middle in coverage. And so my respect and my rating, so to speak, of Malachi Singleton has gone up during the course of the season. And Bobby Petrino is a very good quarterbacks coach, and we can see that through Malachi.
And unless you had a look inside the four practice walls and you could see it, is there one of these quarterbacks that maybe for these last three games the team would play better for? I'm not saying play harder for, but just, the timing, the gel, all that. And you'd think it would be Taylor Green because of just the reps, but that's really the answer is, does the other 10 guys on the field play better when one's out there versus the other? And I don't think you just know that from the limited amount of reps we've seen in games.
No, we can't know that. But I will say this, y'all. People soured on KJ, and I do believe that KJ's NIL money got to his head. It affected the locker room and just created kind of a sour situation when they started to lose games. Now they played a bunch of tight games. I mean, you cannot tell me that they were competitive against LSU and Bama and Ole Miss, and then things got out of whack. But I'm telling you, Taylor Green is so much more like ingrained and like the players believing in him. He's a good kid, and I'm not saying that KJ is a bad kid. I'm just saying that I think the money got to him. And here, everything I've seen out of Taylon Green has been, reaching out to the community, making friends with his teammates, and being a leader, and doing extra things in the weight room, and all that kind of thing. So I think, playing hard I think you could apply it equally to both Green and Singleton. This team is so much more together than last year. The Ole Miss game, to me, a bit of an outlier. They just didn't cover very well, and they could not come up with a way. And Sam Pittman said on the SEC call yesterday, how many different defenses he tried. He said it was in the double figures, how many different defensive things they tried to do, different ways to pressure, man, zone, cover 6, he said, and all these different coverages, and they just could not they couldn't find a way to slow the dart deep balls.
I kept on coming. Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate you jumping on with us per usual. Glad you got a good signature. That's more than I can say for mine. And we'll chat next week.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, enjoy your bye weekend, Tom. Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, with us every Thursday. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Mach 1 Financial. Now that the election's over, how do you feel about the economy? What are your biggest concerns? And do you think politics are directly involved with the stock market's performance? These are the questions that Matt Lee and John explore on the latest episode of the Market Moment Financial Podcast, where you can look at their comments, read the questions and answers from recent surveys taken by listeners just like you. So join them as they unpack it all and give you the confidence you need as an everyday investor. You can find the podcast episodes at market-moment.com. Tune in to get your financial questions answered. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC, is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. Hey, for full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
Big C, big question. Did you get a commemorative ticket, a rally towel, or a tumbler last night? Did you take any of those?
No.
No? Okay.
I did not.
I'd like to have a commemorative ticket, though. I think that'd be something.
Just the first one might be worth some money down the road.
That's the one. I've spoke about this before. When you have big nights and big moments, having that physical ticket to hang on, put in your memory book, your scrapbook, whatever, throw it in a shoebox, throw it in, throw it in my junk drawer. You don't get that now with a digital ticket.
But you can buy one for $25 that's framed and everything, like the Auburn. Was it the Auburn game years ago?
Well, they sent that in the mail after the fact. Yeah, after you beat Auburn, but it wasn't the official ticket.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Whether it's credential,
and we're not going back on that. I like the fact that I can transfer them without having to meet somebody in a parking lot to give them the tickets. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
parking pass just isn't the same. It's just not the same feel.
No. Like not everybody gets one of those.
Yeah, you just want to. I understand that. I've kept pretty much every game ticket, credential, whatever the case might be over the years. Honestly, probably got too many of them in terms of just like from a logistical standpoint, but. I am with you 1,000%. There's certain things I like old school. I like an old school planner. I like an old school ticket. And I like older women, too.
Oh.
Nothing?
Do they like you?
No, of course not. Of course not. I was waiting on something. I was hoping for a quicker retort from you out of that.
It was
nothing?
Sometimes when you hang a fastball right over the middle of the plate, it's almost like, did he really throw that pitch?
Oh man, you just kind of.
Sometimes
stare,
I just don't.
Stare into the abyss for a second. It's like, did he actually say that when talking about something that Ty Richardson said? And he's like, unfortunately, he did. Clay was on. I just would have gotten ridiculed too. No, man,
and rightfully so.
Clay's been texting us this morning. Clay, he said earlier in terms of the sporting events. Let's see what he said. He said, "I would
Clay's texting you. I don't have any text from Clay, so
I
feel left out."
Well, he said, "I'd like to go global. I'd like to see the Coliseum in Rome. He'd like to go to St. Andrews in Scotland." I laughed at.
Oh, now I just got one from Clay,
and I'd like to see a soccer game in Wembley. And
I can't read that one on the air. Sorry,
when
Clay.
I say older women, I mean like in their 40s. I think that's a description and stuff. I was with one of my buddies who's 71, and he goes, we were walking into an event, and the ticket lady
Was
was
it
like
Clay? You
40.
said he
No,
was
it wasn't.
71.
It wasn't Clay. I would have just said Clay.
Like 70, by the way.
Yeah, I thought
Not
it was-
71.
No, but he was. It legitimately was not Clay, and
And he wouldn't call you a
no,
buddy.
No, he would. I don't even know if I make the
100%.
I don't even know if I make the acquaintance. But he goes. It was so funny because I'm 29, and this lady, the ticket lady, is like 40 or 50, and she goes, "Thank you, young lady," or something like that. And I lost it because I was laughing so hard because, again, you got this 71-year-old friend of mine, and then he's calling this person, young lady, at 40, 50 years old. That is young. The older I get,
the younger that gets.
I couldn't contain myself.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. No one else probably does, but I thought it was entertaining.
Hey, do you want to spruce up your existing home or start from the ground up? Either way, check with our friends at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. They'll help you out first before you get started and help you find out why. For more than 100 years, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has helped local families just like yours make their dream homes come true. Visit myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or visit any of the 25 locations of Farm Credit today.
All right, so Cal, he said something I thought was pretty interesting yesterday when talking about, hey, if you don't have the big man,
Your team's a fraud.
your team is a fraud. If you can't throw it in the post, your team's a fraud. Which SEC team through November the 7th has been a fraud in your opinion? Texas Longhorns, for example.
Your team's a fraud.
Hadn't played anybody. When they actually play someone, they lose to Georgia, i.e.
Your team's a fraud.
Brian, if you want to call in, feel free to do so. Everyone knows
Nearly
it's true.
Vanderbilt.
I almost lost. Should have lost to Vanderbilt. But coming up in our SEC update, which SEC team is the most fraudulent of them all, and which has been the most disappointing? I think Auburn has to be the most disappointing for me. That's coming up here on a Thursday edition of the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I love listening to y'all. You're a really intelligent group of sports broadcasters.
You're listening to the Morning Run.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the Road Hogs have the hot calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Learn that name because he is going to take over college basketball this season.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
Colby Hale squad taking on the Texas Longhorns tonight in soccer in the SEC tournament. 6 o'clock on the SEC network. Several Razorback ladies have won awards from the Southeastern Conference office, including Ava Tankersley. Wins the SEC Forward of the Year for the second time. Led the SEC in goals and points. First time that's ever happened in league history, Tommy. They've had someone win it.
They're like the softball program as well. They're right there and ready to break through to the next level. Had great regular season success. The next step is cracking through in the postseason. And eventually, one of those two programs is going to do it.
Yep, Razorback Field is a really cool place to watch a game. The Vuvuzelas that are occasionally out there, Colby Hale's done a fantastic job with that program, as has Courtney Deifel with the softball program, which, again,
Which games have you been to this year?
I think I've been to one game. But, I mean,
I don't know why I keep doing that to you today.
Okay. Why am I going to lie about something? When you turn the radio station on, and this is not a shot at any host at any other time slot, I'm going to tell you what I think and the truth. Even if it hurts me as an individual, I haven't been to one game.
I just wonder, because I've not been to a game at Razorback Field. I'm just wondering which ones you've been to.
Full disclosure, I think I've watched bits and pieces of 2. Right. Which is better than
Were you sober
0.
either time?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, because they're, again, Monday through Thursday, Tommy. You know the rule. Ties in the state of Arkansas. He doesn't. You've been out with, I don't know why you said that. You've been at restaurants with me while everyone else gets a beer and I drink a Coke or something like that. Ole Miss has 26 guys on their SEC injury report heading into this game against Georgia. I think Lane Kiffin's just having fun. Like, if you've seen any of these, and I know that 99% of you just pay attention to the Arkansas ones, which makes sense. But Lane just I swear he just slaps guys up there. Now, Trey Harris was questionable last week. He didn't play, so obviously that was warranted. But is there really, like, between the outs, the doubtfuls, the questionables, the probables, is there really 26 guys that deserve to be on this list, in your opinion? My answer is no. I think he knows that several of the probables or the questionables one way or another.
And I don't know if they'll make this public. You know, they've talked about faking injuries now is going to get you a fine. They've talked about fudging on the injury report getting you a fine. If that actually happens, does the league announce that fine? And who gets the money there? We know that if you storm the field, the opponent gets the money.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets the money if you fake the injury?
That's a great question.
Who gets the money if you lie on your injury report? Yeah, I'm like
the opposing fans, Tommy.
Give it to the media.
Give it to the media. The opposing fans deserve it. All right, that is your
Nobody would. They'd rather give it to the refs than give it to the media.
Yeah, that is your SEC update here on a Thursday edition of the Morning Rush.
Hey, fellas, anybody feeling stressed out there? Anybody stressed out? You ready for a break? Well, unwind with the De-Stress for Less hot tub sale at Burton Pools and Spas. You can melt away your stress in the world's best-selling hot tubs. They're designed to rejuvenate your body and mind. And right now, save up to $7,000. Plus, enjoy free local delivery, installation, and free water testing as well. So treat yourself to pure relaxation with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. At Burton's, they do more than just sell hot tubs. They build long-term relationships. Find them online at burtonpools.com or see them in Fort Smith, Greenland, and in Springdale.
So, little context. Alabama, not where a lot of fans want them to be this season. Kalen DeBoer gets asked earlier on the SEC Network this week, what's he proud of with his team?
Every day, every play, literally, we are going to continue to improve, and that's the goal. And their buy-in into that and belief that that will happen, and then putting forth the effort to make sure it continues to evolve, that we adapt, that we are always, solution-oriented, those type of things.
Blah, 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 coach speak, blah, 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 coach speak. You're going to be 9-3 after Saturday night in Death Valley. Or 3 losses, not 9-3. You'll have 3 losses as of Saturday night. Question is Alabama the most disappointing team in the Southeastern Conference? To me, it's Auburn. Auburn is horrible. Hugh Freeze, like when you think about them down the stretch, they've got Louisiana Monroe. They got a bye week like Arkansas this week. They got Monroe, which they'll win. Then they got Texas A&M and Alabama, which they probably won't win either of those games. I don't know why that hasn't worked. I know Bo Wallace has his opinion, but I think it's Auburn clearly as the most disappointing team in the Southeastern Conference.
Can't argue that, but just for the sake of conversation, could you make a case for the Oklahoma Sooners? Could you make a case for the Kentucky Wildcats? Kentucky was thought to be better. Neither one of those teams were considered to be in the hunt for Atlanta necessarily, but both were thought of more highly in the preseason as far as what their record would be.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one have really even kept the gloves up a lot this year. So I would probably make a case for those two as well to be on that list.
Oklahoma, 5-4 overall, 1-4 in the Southeastern Conference. Their games remain. They got Missouri this weekend, Columbia, bye week, Alabama, Norman, LSU, loss. They'll be 5-7 by the end of the season. And then you mentioned Kentucky, 1-6 on the year, 3-6 in 1-6 in conference.
They do have the win over Ole Miss, so that pads that a little bit. But they have not had the kind of Mark Stoops season everybody thought they would. But they'd be really competitive.
Yes, they have been awful. They rightfully so. But I will listen. I was pretty staunch on Oklahoma not being able to handle the SEC. Thought Texas would. They were given a cream puff schedule by the league, and thus far they made it through. We'll see what happens this week against the Gators. Next week in Fayetteville, they've got Kentucky, that team you just mentioned, and then A&M of College Station. But, yeah, I think you could put, all those teams at the very bottom of the list, Tommy. Oklahoma, Auburn, Kentucky, Mississippi State. I don't think they were ranked 16 out of 16. They're kind of exactly where people thought they would be.
Yeah.
But I think for Auburn and some in Oklahoma, a lot in Oklahoma thought they'd be a lot better than they actually are.
Hey, WT Equipment has the best deals this year on model year 2023 and select 2024 Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors. You can get these deals right now. Choose 0% financing for up to 72 months, or you can take $8,500 off in cash back to you. This is all for a limited time. Also get a free loader when you purchase right now as well. Harvest the best deals of the year during the value bonanza that's going on right now at WT Equipment. They're in Springdale and all 7 locations that are offering these deals now through December the 31st at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
I like what Cal said about the team yesterday.
Thanks to the fans. It was a great arena, great start. We're going to have a lot of games, but we need this arena hopping for this team as we figure this out. We're not there yet, but we're doing some good stuff, but we got to be better than this. And it was good, but do we want to be good or do we want to be something special?
I don't know where he wanted to be in his mind on November the 7th. I probably want to know. I think that's just an okay educated guess, but you beat the number 1 team in the country in Kansas, who won a national championship a couple years ago without their best player. So I know that's kind of an asterisk type of game, but I would say, again, to his point, they're not where they want to be, but there's been some positive signs. You brought up the question, what do you like? I like where the freshmen are and where they could be in Carter Knox, Boogie Flan, and Billy Richmond, and where they could expand. This is a team, if you have tickets, even if you're tired, even if you've got a long day at work the next day, I mean, based off last night, Big C, you were in attendance. This is a game. These are games that you want to attend in person if you can afford to do so, or if you have time in your schedule and it allows.
If you got tickets, can't go, give them to somebody. I think there's a market out there probably better than ever to sell these. But I think last night's also a byproduct of not a lot of people are familiar with the name Lipscomb. When you look at the home games in Fayetteville, now you got Michigan, you got Baylor coming up, you got some of these games, but they're not in Fayetteville.
If you want to gripe about,
you don't have a lot of Saturdays. You only got 2 Saturdays. A lot of Wednesdays. There's some Fridays. Those aren't easy and convenient. I'm going to tell you, I was tired. One reason I didn't go was tired. Stayed up the night before watching the election. Woke up again middle of the night to see the actual results. Dozed back off, got up, worked out, went to work. I was tired. I think there was a lot of people that in my age group that probably had the same thing coming off election night. That held some people out, I think, last night as well, that maybe otherwise, if they'd had a normal Tuesday night, might have been there. But I don't think a lot of people got, a full night's rest going into Wednesday either.
It'd be nice if we could just, teleport to Fayetteville and back.
But they'll get that, that not underground train, but that thing they're talking about, the light rail or whatever they're talking about building there in Northwest Arkansas someday. Maybe
is that a thing?
Yeah, they've talked about it. It's not a thing yet. It's a thing they're envisioning.
So what do we have to get to?
What we need is a bullet train from Alma up.
That would be cool. Just the hog caravan coming from Alma up there, and also Southwest.
You won't live long enough to see that.
Oh man,
come about.
Let's get morbid on us. I got.
It's gonna be a long time. Let's get I-49 built first.
Listen, let me live till 75, then kick me to the curb, and I'll.
Yeah, it's easy to say now. Wait till you're about 70. You'll have a little different feeling. Wait till you're about 50, and you'll feel different.
It's down. I feel well again. Not there yet.
What if you could hop on a train though in Bentonville and just get to Fayetteville? How that or vice versa?
No question.
Yeah. So maybe someday. I don't think I'll live to see it. Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. River starting to kind of get back to normal after all the flooding and the Buffalo River and kind of backed up some things. Water's back down to kind of more normal levels and it's clearing back up again. Great time to get to Gaston's in the fall. Love the fishing on the White River. Love the weather that goes along with it. A little cool in the mornings. You can kind of layer up and then enjoy just the scenery and the beauty of the White River throughout the day. Expert guides that know exactly where to put you on the fish. They fish those rivers, or fish the river every day and fish those little special pockets that they know about and can put you right on that big trophy brown or rainbow that you've always dreamed about. 870-431-5202. Ask Jacob or Cheryl or any of the wonderful people at their reservation desk about a private cabin or lodge. They got nearly 80 of those that can accommodate you and one other, or if you need to bring the whole crew along, they can handle that as well. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Big Z's going to back his man down the lane, gets it to go off the glass and one.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from. And Rusty can...
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL to entertainment and political props. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. You guys have really affordable suit and tuxedo rentals that I think people need to consider.
Mercy Ball and holiday events that a lot of guys need tuxedos to rent. So come to Rainwater's, you get to try it on immediately, and you know that it fits, and we'll take care of you.
When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you.
Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, because it's fun to look good.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I admit it, watching Arkansas play makes me happier than a pig and you know what. Arkansas, will you make the Final Four? In them wacky
This was back when NCAA tournament promos and ESPN commercials were
You get
fun.
Zach's permission to play this?
All right. Just to establish this right here, right now, I made this promo like 6 years ago before Zach and Derek even started their show, and then they started airing it regularly. So just so we're clear,
I think
the
they've
first
claimed
one.
ownership to it, though.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, hopefully there'll be some new owners of some great deer meat here, not just this week, but in the next couple of weeks. We're going to talk with Trey Reed coming up. Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Big weekend ahead, Tom.
Yeah, and we were talking about fishing on the White River at Gaston's a minute ago, but you're going to be headed out and fishing on one of the rivers or even the lakes. Right now, you want to get that Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue back into your tackle box, back on the boat, back ready to go. It's perfect on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, fishing for trophy brown or rainbow on the White River as well. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will help you catch them. It's got that famous rolling action. And when it's fished, even in a current like we've had earlier this week with all the runoff and the floodwaters, or fished in some slower water, it'll suspend in the strike zone longer, helping you catch more fish. Find the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
All right, Assistant Chief of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission Communications and also a marketing guy now joins us. Trey, we really appreciate you making some time for us this morning. How big is this weekend ahead for Arkansas hunters across our state?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Happy to be here. No, this is about as big as it gets. We expect probably 300,000 plus folks will be out in the woods and search whitetail deer this weekend. To put it in perspective, we've had archery season opened in late September, and it runs all the way through the end of February. And then we had our alternative firearms, formerly our muzzleloader season, a couple of weeks ago, about a 9-day season. So we've had about 44,000 deer checked thus far. We will match that probably Saturday alone with the opening of modern gun deer season. It's the Super Bowl. This is the conference opponent of the hunting schedule. Our non-conference early season opponents are out of the way. Our alternative firearms. This is the big one, man. This is the big day across the state.
So, Trey, the fact that we haven't had really a good snap of weather to get the deer on the move, to get them into the rut. How big a problem is that for the sportsman this weekend, for the guy that's worked his food plot, got his tree stands ready? The lack of cold weather, how big an issue is that for this weekend?
Here's the thing. Those deer are out there 365 days a year in the heat of July and August, the cold of January and February. And so I think that the environmental conditions, the weather, if we're talking, specifics, are probably more affect the hunter more than it does the hunted. These critters are out there making a living all year long. But, you do bring up a good point. One of the things, especially up there in Northwest Arkansas, gosh, you were in extreme drought before a couple of days ago. So, and that can affect food sources, some of the browse on the ground. And it's more an issue, I think, of the patterns of deer movement or when they're moving. It may relocate, distribute them differently and put them in different places than they might normally be in a wetter fall year. But we got so much rain so quickly, and you alluded to that, talking about the Smithwick Rattling Road there and all that runoff. I'm curious, that probably could have more of an immediate impact because it was such a drastic event. And followed essentially a flash drought that we were in that developed very quickly as well.
What about chronic wasting disease, CWD as it's referred to by some? I know there's regulations on where you can check your deer, how you go through that process. Is this still an issue that you and the team at the Arkansas Game and Fish are working through? Kind of give us an update on that, because I know that's been on the minds of some, particularly in certain counties in our state where it's been more prominent.
Absolutely, and the northwestern quarter of the state is probably the area that has we found it in Newton County originally in 2016, and that's still a very high prevalence area there around the Buffalo River, Jasper, Ponca area is kind of the core. But as you go out from that, we find that the farther you get from it, the lower the prevalence is, where it might be in 23% of the population in that area. you kind of find these like little, a deer here and a deer there as you get farther out from there. But you do, yeah, there are some special regulations. The best thing to do is go to agfc.com/CWD. That's sort of a clearinghouse page on our website with information about chronic wasting disease and all the regulations. There are Tier 1 and Tier 2 management, CWD management zones, and essentially for that area where there are higher prevalences, we don't want folks taking, whole deer carcasses out of that area. So there are restrictions on, you have to have, it's got to be deboned meat or clean taxidermy products, skull plates, things like that, antlers, cleaned hides and that sort of thing. But again, we could get down in the minutiae of it, but the easiest thing to do is go to agfc.com/CWD. We do want folks to get their deer tested. I mean, we're not a public health organization. We defer to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Arkansas Department of Health for that guidance. But, it helps us kind of keep tabs on, and we are. We're constantly monitoring CWD in the state's deer herd and monitoring the deer herd just in general terms for health across the board. But we've got over 100 testing locations around the state, as well as a network of participating taxidermists where you can have your deer tested for chronic wasting disease. Turnaround time is about 2 weeks, might be a little longer, closer to 3 weeks to get those results back here at the peak of, as modern gun deer season opens. But it's, again, agfc.com/CWD for all the details and locations of those testing sites.
Trey, thanks for your time. I know it's a huge weekend across our state. People have planned their whole years around this weekend, and we appreciate the update here on the Morning Rush.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate you getting the word out about deer season in Arkansas.
Yeah, 300,000.
Wow, that is a number.
It's the biggest sporting event of the year in our state. I mean, it really is.
What does Chuck always says? There's no game this weekend, but it's like the biggest radio weekend of the year for football.
Yeah, and there'll be
a lot for Texas too.
There'll be
weekend.
A big audience for the Baylor game listening from Deer Camp as well. Hey, with football season this weekend, deer season this weekend, all of that, be sure and have the Oakland Sports app on your phone. It's real simple to open your account. When you do, you get up to $1,000 in bonus bets, $100 a day each of your first 10 days. Debit and credit cards, PayPal, Venmo, and more. It's simple and easy with Oakland. Bet with Oakland Sports, the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas.
Mr. Phil Elson and QB Matt Jones coming up next, halftime.
It's that time of year, jackpot season. Play the new $1 Million Jackpot Scratch-Off ticket